Hey, what's good, my friends? Zroder Mehmet speaking, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you. In this video, I'll be covering UFC 253, the early prelims, only a couple of fights. And if you're familiar to my channel, you know the drill here. You know how to use this spreadsheet to your best. And if you don't, hang on a second, I'll be soon explaining it. And in the description, there are links to the fights breakdown with the timings. You just click to it. You can browse to each fight in respect to your time. All right. So for those that are still here and like to hear about the spreadsheet, so what I mean by the most consistent and transparent betting strategy, I'm keeping track on this spreadsheet of the results I'm having from July 2020. This is basically how I'm doing. If you don't understand much these numbers, there's an introductory video, feel free to take a look at it. And this is basically the overall profit I'm having, summing all of the events. This is the money that the extra money that I would be having if I'm from 100% of betting money. So if I'm betting $1,000, I would be having 1,430 after nearly 2.5 months. Okay, so this is also broken down into the charts, into the confidence levels. You guys can take a look at it, see how many bets I have placed, how many I have won, what's the overall profit. So in overall low confidence, just small profit. In terms of medium, 10%. In terms of high confidence, 37%. Okay, so stay tuned here if you want to hear the breakdown of the fights. Like I said, this is just a couple of fights because these are the early prelims. Okay, I'm coming up soon with the prelims video, and the main card is already up, so I'm also adding the link in the description. Please take a look at it and like and subscribe if you do. Okay, so Khadis Ibragimov versus Danilo Marques. This will be a quick one, and unfortunately, because I haven't found much footage on Marques, what I see from a fight from his side was a guy that can feint a lot, you know, tries to use his range, you know, he's super tall, 6'6", for light heavyweight, that is. And no, his record is good. That's all I can tell, you know, because I've seen one footage where he got TKO'd, you know, so I haven't seen much of that rather than this feints and like a tall guy that tries to use his range. So, and he's fighting Ibragimov here, which is like a very young guy, you know, tough Russian fighter. His problem is that he's ultra aggressive, you know. It kind of can be his pitfall because he exposes himself. Basically, he wears himself out before the second round. Now, I'm not sure he has fixed that. I think he may have fixed because his last fight he was doing pretty well, pacing himself, but then he got TKO'd, you know. So what I'm assuming here, guys, I'm assuming that Ibragimov will either be at his best, you know, and a guy at 25 years old, with a well-rounded skill set, you know, can kick, can punch, can throw uppercuts, he can throw hooks. He's a great sambo fighter, you know, not great, he's a decent sambo wrestler, and he can grapple a little bit from top. So against a guy in Marques that has some TKO losses that's coming up debuting his UFC, with 34 years old, you know, I don't see much upside on Marques. That's why I'm kind of blind betting Ibragimov here, because the lines are slightly attractive. So I'm just throwing him on a parlay, you know, Ibragimov, and if I can get him a TKO bet, I would be betting. But this is kind of aggressive bet, and I'm not that confident on this one. But I do think there's some value in Ibragimov. I think he's coming out for real. He's a young guy, and I think he will be able to win this fight. Juan Espino versus Jeff Hughes. So basically, Espino, he's a wrestler. You know, he fights behind a wrestling game. I haven't seen much of him striking. I'm assuming he's kind of average, you know. But the wrestling is pretty decent. He's not an elite wrestler, a great wrestler or something, but he can chain wrestle a little bit. So I'll give him that. I mean, for a heavyweight especially, he's quite technical as a wrestler, so it's not that bad. Plus on the top, he's quite heavy. He's not only heavy, like a big heavyweight, 260 pounds, you know, nearly 120 kilos of a guy like that from top. Plus he's got some grappling technique, you know, he can ground and pound, so he's not easy to deal with. Now Hughes, he's like a tough guy, always in the fight, you know, and he can do a little bit of everything. He's not bad on the clinch. Striking is his best. his best skill, but he's not that of a great striker, you know, unfortunately. He kind of has a good defense, like hands up, you know. He can catch some shots in his guard and then he throws back, you know. That's basically what he does. Plus, when he moves forward, he can go a little bit behind a jab, try some hooks, you know, adjust the distance. So he's not a bad striker, especially for a heavyweight, especially for MMA. But still, I don't see much of an effective style. And I'm not confident in betting any of these guys, you know. In terms of Espino, it's because he's too much of a steep favorite, you know. And to bet Hughes, you know, I'm neither confident on Hughes because, like I said, I don't see anything effective. You know, I don't see actually he being able to stuff Espino's takedown. You know, maybe he can dig this deep, and maybe he can win in the later rounds. But I'm not that confident, so that's why I'm skipping this bet. Now, if Hughes climbs up to plus 300, then I would be interested in betting Hughes. I'll add in the comments for you guys, okay? So just to wrap this up real quick, the two fights that we covered were Juan Espino versus Jeff Hughes. So like I said, I would be interested in betting Hughes around plus 300, you know. Nowadays it's plus 230. I'm gonna, for now, skip this fight. And the other fight that we covered was Ibragimov. Where is he? Here it is, I'm sorry. So, Khadis Ibragimov around minus 130. Actually, I didn't put the amount here. My bad, I'll be throwing 1.5% of him on a parlay only, okay? And then this would come to this amount if I get, okay? If you don't understand why I'm multiplying these things, you take a look in the introductory video. I'm explaining why, but basically it's because of my overall assertive rate of bets, okay? So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe and check out the main card and the prelims video that I'll be covering soon, okay? And until there, this is Roder MMA Bet, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.